freelancer, but as a sovereign brand, as a sovereign freelancer, we cannot allow ourselves to be lost in the crowd. And that's what happens on those platforms. It's a huge crowd. You're going to be there with thousands or tens of thousands or hundred thousands of other freelancers competing for work. We never want to be part of a crowd. We always want to stand apart from the crowd. So we need to build a brand for ourselves. And it matters. It matters in terms of recognition. We all recognize the brands on the right. Authority, Rolex has authority. Authenticity. Do you remember Coca-Cola tagline, the real thing? That's authentic. It's the real cola. Control. Having control over how you are perceived, how you are seen in the marketplace. Having a brand, being a sovereign brand is incredibly important. So to do that, step one is to have your own website and your own name for your brand, for your business. And very often for freelancers, that brand name is our own name, like the top one there, Sarah Mackenzie. That is her brand, Sarah Mackenzie, and there's a photograph of her and her promise to her prospects there. The one on the bottom right is kind of fun. The Copy brothers. I stumbled across that. It's Todd and Lee, and they're twins. They're twin brothers in Melbourne, Australia, and they write copy together. So in fact, they have almost like a brand built in, fortunately, into their relationship, because they'll always be remembered as the twins, the copywriting twins. But yeah, the starting point is to have a website, not to be on some general platform, but to have your own kind of sovereign space, as it were. And you want to look good. You want that website to look good. So all of my business websites are built with WordPress using a theme called GeneratePress, and then using various plugins to extend the functionality there. If you are familiar with WordPress, go for it. Build your freelance website there. If you're not, you have some choices. You can either hire a developer to do that for you, or you can go to platforms like Wix and Squarespace, where it is much easier. And you can choose a template, and you can choose a look and feel, and drop in your text, etc. I would, when it comes to branding, I would hesitate about the Wix and Squarespace and equivalent options, simply because whenever you come across a place where you're choosing from a template, there will be 10 or 100 or 1,000 or 5,000 other freelancers choosing that same template, which means you're back to looking the same. Now, it doesn't have to be that way, but one way or another, whatever service you use to build your website, make sure that it looks unique, because that's central to branding, right? To have your own look in your own space. Also, this is a topic we could talk about all day, is you want to build your brand in a particular niche or niche. I do anything, any kind of writing, any kind of design, any kind of coding. I do anything. That's not branding. That's just saying I'm the same as everyone else. You want to brand yourself. So on the right, the website on the left, Beyond the Case Study. Now, this is where a freelancer has chosen not to have her own name as the brand, but to have the title of the service as a brand. So she's in the B2B space. She does case studies, and her business, her brand is Beyond the Case Study. Bottom right, pet copywriter, that's Pam Foster. So her niche is the pet industry, which is huge and growing fast. So you can see she's doing two things here. She's got the brand in terms of the niche, which is the pet industry, but also she's showing her face. So she's saying, hey, this is me. I am part of this brand, this part of the brand story. Establish your brand voice with your content. That some of that's going to be on your own website, but it can also be elsewhere. So the top left there, Nick Osborne, that's me on my YouTube channel, and I do some videos there, short videos, and literally I'm branding with my voice, but also my face. I'm kind of there on camera, looking eye to eye with my audience. So that gives me an opportunity for me to establish myself, and to get people used to my voice, to get people used to my messaging, what I talk about. Bottom right, marketing mentor. This is Elise Spennon. She has a very particular, she is her brand, like marketing mentor is her brand, but really she's at the heart of it. She has a very particular energy. And you see that, you'll see that in her writing, and you'll see that if you ever see her on webinars, on Zoom, things like that. She has a very particular voice, a very particular energy, and that is her brand, is part of her brand. This is all about separating yourself from other people. So once you've got to the point where you say, okay, this is who I am, this is my niche, this is my voice, You want to amplify that through social media. And for us as freelancers, the starting point there is almost always LinkedIn, simply because that's where most of our clients and prospective clients have their own profiles. So most of us as freelancers will build out a profile on LinkedIn, and then other social media platforms if you want. But I would start on LinkedIn. And again, you're going to get out there with your messaging. You're going to get out building your brand, setting yourself apart as being unique. Then we're going to expand the reach and the authority of your brand. So there's certain people that I can reach through my website, through my newsletter, through my YouTube channel, etc. But I want to reach more people. So the center one at the back, ClickZ, that ClickZ was the first major kind of marketing platform website on the web. You can see a tiny picture there of me in black and white. This is back in 1997, where I was writing articles for ClickZ, and that gave me reach, expanded my reach out into other readers who wouldn't necessarily read just my stuff on my website. In fact, in 1997, I didn't have my own website. So it expanded my reach, but it also expanded my authority. Like, hey, if he's a columnist here, he must know what he's talking about. Bottom left, podcast. Again, it allows me to get in front as a guest of that podcaster. It allows me to get in front of her audience. So I'm expanding my reach, but also authority of like, hey, if she invited Nick, he must have something worthwhile to say. Bottom right, that's me speaking at an event. I've spoken at dozens of events, sometimes to thousands of people. In that case, that particular photograph, there was probably about 15 to 20 people in the room. It wasn't a big event, but again, it expanded my reach and authority. Like, hey, if they invited Nick to speak here, he must have something interesting to say. So you establish your brand, and then you start expanding the reach and authority of your brand. And this is how it goes. This is how you become sovereign in your space. So building a strong brand establishes your sovereign status. In the next session, we're going to look at AI. A big topic for many of us currently as freelancers is looking at AI and trying to figure out, is this a friend or is this a foe? And it can be either, but we're going to talk about it in the next session as being a friend, and we're going to look at how AI can actually amplify your value and your sovereignty. So I'll see you there.